We often talk about it on this channel, but there's a battle in the Trump family for the title of dumbest Trump, and it either goes to Eric or to Don Jr. Some weeks it's Eric, some weeks it's Don Jr., but it's always one of those two. And now I really think if you look what's happening at the Trump organization, they are being set up by Daddy Donald and their sister Ivanka to be the fall guys at the company if somebody does indeed have to go to prison with the last name Trump. This is part of the fallout from Alan Weitzelberg and the company being charged. As we know, a couple weeks ago now, Alan Weitzelberg is the CFO, and the company as a whole were charged criminally with tax evasion and fraud and all these sorts of things. 15 counts, could be years in prison, could be a real blow to the company, all around the fact that executives like Weitzelberg, but not just Weitzelberg, got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in income that they didn't claim. And so now Eric and Don Jr. have been put in his place. He hasn't been fully removed, but many of his day-to-day tasks have been taken up by Eric and Don Jr. But Daddy Donald and Ivanka are nowhere to be found. I have a couple paragraphs up here. This one basically shows that Eric and Don Jr. are running the company. My God, could you imagine Dumb and Dumber running a shoe store, running an ice cream shop, let alone a multi-billion-dollar corporation? But they're running the company supposedly, and Daddy's staying away. Donald Trump is staying away. He hangs out at his golf course, he comes in once a week, and he spends all of his time complaining about the Republican Party trying to destroy America still. And Ivanka, according to this paragraph, she's not even in New York most of the time. She's hanging out with her kids and her husband, staying low, avoiding all of this drama in Miami, in Florida, really trying to keep herself out of the spotlight. And you can see why this is happening. It does not take a genius to understand what's happening. It does not take a lawyer or an accountant or some sort of shrewd business person to understand what's happening here. Eric and Don Jr. are being given this promotion, but really it's a trap, if anything. It's at the very least a trap, because even if they don't end up going to prison, they're being put in charge of this company just as it goes into this criminal period. So even if they are innocent, even if they've individually done nothing wrong, imagine the headache of taking this role right now at the company's worst position. But I don't think they're fully innocent. We know that other executives benefited. Executives like Eric, Don Jr., and Ivanka, who got similar perks from the company before and during and after Daddy's time in the White House. And so they're at least in the crosshairs from investigators. No charges yet, but they're probably being looked at to see if they got a company car or apartment or some sort of luxury thing that they didn't claim on their taxes. And so get ready for this, because if it does come down to it and the criminalities start coming out, and if the criminalities are still happening right now, Daddy and Ivanka, who again would flip each other, but would likely protect one another over the Dum Dum brothers, can each say, well, no, I'm out. I'm a former president. I'm working on my political stuff. Yeah, my name's on the building, but I'm done day to day. And Ivanka can say, look, I'm taking a break. I'm spending time being a wife and mother. I'm not interested in the day to day. Whereas Eric and Don Jr. can't say that. They're more intertwined with the company than ever before. There are no charges yet, but we all know this. The Dum Dum brothers will be the ones to go down. Now, I want to know what you think. Who is the dumbest Trump? Is it Eric? Is it Don Jr.? Or are they tying for the worst award in the world?